Welcome to Fish Nerds, obsessive talk about fish, fishing, and eating fish. I am Dave Kellum.
And I am Clay Groves. Together we talk about fishy stuff that happened to us and people we know. We also discuss random topics that we find interesting and usually really funny. Really.
Today we're going to talk about our new boat.
Yay!
A murder mystery at Pawtuckaway Lake in New Hampshire, Nottingham, New Hampshire, and updates on our fishing quests. So first, the new boat hit the water with just Clay behind the wheel.
Yeah, new boat. And just to be clear, what a new boat means, it doesn't mean the 22-foot Grady White with the 200 horsepower outboards. It means the 12-foot Starcraft with metal seats and a 9.9 Mercury outboard.
Yeah,
which to me is really exciting.
That's 9.9 more than we ever had on a boat. So that's awesome. Way
faster than our canoes can take us. And it will get us out on the cold lakes this spring. So it's exciting.
It is exciting. Also, backing boats up is exciting, right?
Oh my goodness! So I the other morning at 6 a.m, I decided I'm going to launch this boat when nobody else is around because I've never backed a boat up before, and I wanted to avoid people standing around giggling at me while I launched it because I know what's going to happen. So we went down to Conway Lake. It was still kind of dusk out. Loons were out there. It's beautiful. And I couldn't wait to get on the water and catch a salmon. So I started back in the truck, down the boat ramp, and immediately the trailer was sideways to the truck. So I had to pull forward. It took like 7 tries to get it straight. And then you're backing straight down, and I don't touch the wheel. It's going straight, and the stupid thing turns anyway. So pull forward again. Like, must have been 10 or 12 tries. Finally, I got it in the water, and now I don't know how far to back into the water. Is the trailer supposed to float? The boat supposed to float?
So you're backing it up. Did you get it right the first time?
Well, once it's in the water, I just kept going until the transom, the back of the boat was in the water. I kept thinking it's going to go under and flood the whole boat, but the good news is I put the plug in. So I didn't make that stupid mistake that most people make. I was really afraid. So I got there, I put the car in park, which is good, and then I went down and I couldn't figure out how to take the straps off the boat. So it took me about 10 minutes to figure all the little doohickey and the straps to get the releases on. The boat's untied, and now I have to undo the winch. And my hands are cold, and the metal is cold and frozen, so I had to breathe on that for a while to get that out, release that, slid the boat into the water, unhooked it, grabbed the rope, and I thought I was golden. So I tied the boat off, parked the truck, which was easy. And I came back down, and I thought, all right, well, I'm wearing my waders because I knew I'd be in the water. And I'm going to start the motor before I get in the boat so I'm not yelling and cussing while I'm floating down towards the dam. And I never thought to read the manual or learn how to start an outboard motor before getting there, because there's like 3 buttons. I figured, how hard could it be?
How hard?
Really hard. So I remember the guy I bought it from told me, if you prime it, you pull a little button out, and you pull the handle. Make sure it's in neutral. So I did those 3 things, and nothing.
Nothing.
I did those 3 things again, and nothing.
Now,
and 10 minutes later, I'm still doing those 3 things.
Now, so growing up, we grew up near. I grew up near a reservoir out in Indiana, and one of the fun things we do in the summer is to sit by the boat launch and watch people back up their boats and leave their lights plugged in on their trailers.
You're a jerk. You can't leave them plugged in?
No, did yours?
Yeah, I'm plugged in.
Okay. Because a lot of times they will short out when you leave them plugged in. And they can also break the bulbs because the bulbs are really hot, and then they get in.
You didn't tell me that.
I'm telling you now. So there you go.
Oh, I screwed that up.
Yeah. And then the other thing you're always supposed to do is to start it if you can while it's on the trailer, because then you're not floating around and all that. And once you get it started, then you can warm it up and it'll work. So,
but make sure the trailer's in the water.
Yeah, trailer's in the water because it's got to suck water into the engine. But yeah, that's a fun time if anybody wants to, have fun. And every year somebody sinks a truck, so at least you didn't sink your truck.
Well, that's bonus.
Yeah,
So,
that is a bonus.
but after not getting it started, it's in the water, sitting there, thinking, all right, well, I got a trolling motor, electric trolling motor. That I know how to work. So I got on it. I just did a couple laps around the little cove we were in, and dragged a fishing line behind us and quit.
That was a good first start.
Oh, it's terrible. And so then I had to get the trailer back in the water to get the boat out of the water. And now I'm backing down the thing, and I can't see the trailer anymore.
Yep.
What am I going to do? So I keep backing up, and I can't see a thing. So I kept getting it out of the truck. I walk around the truck, pick the trailer up, and straighten it out with my hands. Just drop it down again. Get back in the truck, back up 3 more feet, get out of the truck, walk up, pick the trailer up and straighten it out and drop it back down again. Because I didn't want to be there all morning, and I didn't want anyone to see me. So
All right.
that's the christening of the boat, a new catch 'em all machine.
The catch 'em all machine.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Well, we have a lot of tweaks to do to that trailer and tweaks to do that. So you got it back home and put it in a trash can, right?
Not the boat, but I put the motor in the trash can, and I did those 3 things, and then I looked at the gas can, and there's a boat that says, to start your engine, vent the gas. It said the words were right there in front of me. They were written down. So I opened the vent, and on the very first pull, the motor.
Yeah, you got to open the vent.
Yeah. You learn it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So tomorrow I'll go to the boat launch and watch people launching their boats and giggle at them and not help them. So, I really have to unplug the lights?
Yeah, you have to unplug the lights.
Jesus. Wish you had told me that.
Oh, well.
The light kits are $30 at Walmart, so I'll have to be buying new kits.
Well, it might have worked. Who knows?
Who knows? I won't look at it. It won't matter.
All right, so that's the boat.
That's the boat.
Well, while you were out doing that, I was poking around Pawtuckaway Lake over in Nottingham. And that's kind of...
Right?
Do what?
In England?
Yeah, the sheriff was out there. The sheriff of Nottingham. That must be a great job, by the way. I'm sure he never gets tired of those jokes. No, Nottingham, New Hampshire, and it's kind of for southern New Hampshire. It's pretty rural out there. There's cows and stuff, and there's a big state park on Pawtuckaway Lake, and I went up there to see if the suckers were running up a stream that runs into the lake at the northern part of the lake. And I was poking around. I had my waders on and all, looking for these suckers. And I see one bellied up. I could see the white on the bottom. And I go up, and I was thinking, and we've experienced this a couple years ago when we saw the white perch.
Well, you remember those white perch? They were like, looks like they're doing the backstroke. See the little tiny pectoral fins kind of sticking out the top of the water as they did the backstroke through Salmon Meadow Cove and Lake Winnipesaukee. It was great to watch.
Yeah, and there were even some that died because of the spawning. I mean, that must have been some pretty good spawning.
If there's a way to go, that's the way to go.
Yeah, so anyway, so I figured that's what happened to these suckers. So I went, reached down, picked one up, and took some pictures. But then I noticed they had holes in them, which made me think that they didn't die of just sheer pleasure. So. I think somebody was out there before me. These fish were still alive. They were still wiggling, but they did have holes in them. Is it legal to bowfin or bow hunt for them?
You can for suckers in March and April. You can bow fish for them or spear them.
Yeah. So I'll check the pictures to see if there was one or more holes, but I think there was just kind of single holes. So I bet somebody was out shooting them. And I looked around to see if there was other piles of them or any other fish around. So I didn't see any, but I saw at least 3 that were floating on the bottom. So that's probably what was going on.
It brings us to the ethical question: is it okay to bow hunt for a fish,
and to leave it in the water?
Well, that's the trick, isn't it?
Yeah. So I mean on one side, all the little creatures living in the stream are thinking, yeah, leave it in the water because we're gonna eat it. And
there's some crayfish down there going, oh yeah, It's dinner time. It's Christmas. Merry Christmas to me.
and all the bugs and everything. So I suppose on that level, yeah. I mean, if you're gonna just take it and throw it in the garbage, it's better to leave it in the water. Although I'm not sure it's legal to leave them in the water.
I don't know the law on it. I just know that on a personal level, I don't like it.
It certainly doesn't do us any favors for somebody to go out at a state park to be walking their dog and all, and they see a bunch of dead fish in the water. So, on that level, maybe the best thing to do if you don't want to, well, you could always do catch and release bow hunting with the suction
Suction
cups.
cups.
So, I,
You're free to go.
kind of a Krusty the Clown moment with those.
Oh my god.
So,
But on a personal level, you can understand the fun of shooting a fish with a bow and arrow. That's something I think any guy can relate to. Last year Dave and I were spearing suckers and to eat one, and plan was to eat one of each kind of fish. So we wanted to eat one sucker. So I speared the fish, and it was so fun and so exciting. And there were hundreds of more suckers in the river, and the urge to just start killing was there. Dave had to hold me back. Was going berserker and just trying to stab him, and Dave's like, "No, buddy, you can't do it." You only had to kill one, so I can see that kind of urge to go nuts.
yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
true. So anyway, what was going to be a simple reconnaissance trip up to Pawtucket Lake turned out to be a interesting murder mystery and
Dun, dun, dun.
ethical questions. So, we don't have answers here at Fish Nerds. We just got questions. So
If you had all the answers, you wouldn't be nerdy enough.
that's right. So that's pretty nerdy.
The fish geeks.
The fish geeks. So speaking of the fish geeky stuff, we have a couple of quests going right now. We're big fans of quest fishing, which means you pick a target, you pick a goal, and then you try to go for it. So 2 years ago, we tried to catch and eat every kind of fish in New Hampshire.
2 years ago, we started a 1-year quest.
That's right. We've also learned time is relative, and nobody, really,
No one cares.
no one cares. So we're still trying to catch. We have 8 left, and
What are the 8? You remember?
I'm gonna try to remember. So the creek
Let me
chub
help you.
sucker is the one I'm responsible for down the southern part of the state.
Hmm.
You're around longnose sucker area,
Hmm.
so that's 2. We have red belly dace and fine scale dace, so that's 4.
Those are twins.
Those are twins, and they're up by you.
We'll call them the twins from now on. I'm going after the twins, Dave. Here I go.
Swamp darter and tessellated darter.
Yep.
So that's 6.
6. We have a lake whitefish,
Oh yeah.
and then finally, the last one, banded killifish.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Those are gonna be tough.
That's gonna suck.
Yes. There's not very many of them around. They're very small, but we're gonna keep on trying. We have to catch all these with hook and line. We're not gonna net them. So
We'll spear if we can.
if they're legal. So the suckers we can spear.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway,
Plus, spearing a killifish would be really exciting. Just try to imagine spearing a 2-inch fish. Just the joy in that.
yeah, that would be something. Okay, so that's that quest, and then we also have another quest.
Yeah, the next quest, we are on a quest to fish all the active dams in New Hampshire and fill our dam bellies while we're at it. And there's no timeline on that quest. That's whenever we feel like it.
And I haven't fished. I tried to fish near a dam the other day, and and I didn't do any good.
The problem, Dave, if I can call you that, the problem is it's April, and April's just in November. April and November, 2 months of the year that just suck to fish in New Hampshire.
They really do.
Worst.
They're just not around. I don't get it. I don't get why they're not around, but they certainly aren't around.
Well, you know what it is? It's April. It's mud season. Who wants to be in New Hampshire in April?
Now you're going to be fishing for a fish that actually can be caught in April around dams and around those areas tomorrow, right?
Apparently, April's the best time to fish for this fish. So, we're going tomorrow for landlocked Atlantic salmon in Lake Winnipesaukee. So, with any luck, what was that?
Sorry, That was a door closing.
So with any luck, tomorrow I will be cruising around Lake Winnipesaukee with our friend Todd from New Hampshire Trout Undiscovered. He's on his own quest, but we'll be cruising around in my little boat, in our little boat, trying to catch Atlantic salmon, which is not part of either of our quests except for our nerdiness to catch a fish.
Well, are you going to be around a dam anywhere?
Uh, well, interestingly, it'll be just below Mill Falls where we got the suckers last year.
Oh,
So I'll cruise around that outlet, but not. I think it's questionable to call it a dam.
yeah. Well, I certainly wish you luck. I'll be working, unfortunately, in my day job, but
Sucker!
well, but keep me informed, and we'll update the website to see how Clay and Todd did out there.
Yeah, if you're interested in following our website, it's fishnerds.com. Feel free to log on and visit. Also, find us on Facebook at Fish Nerds, and leave us a little comment and say, "Hey, I think you guys are awesome," or "It's kind of nerdy." Whatever. We're happy to hear from you.
So until next time, good luck with all your catches out there, you fish nerds.
Adios.